Hello everybody. Gonna be playing some Abandoned Ship. We're gonna go into the main campaign. Under Nodwik. Tutorials are on because I really do not remember how to play at all. Let's go normal. Player generated names, sure. Quick start mode off. If anybody's watching this on the recap, you can see the key here. If you want to play this world. And I hope that my computer is not going to completely carp out on me. Just waiting for this to load here. Wild chorus, the birth of a monster. In that moment, the final strand is cut. A burst of clarity. The horror of your recent existence dawns upon you. Escape is all that you can think of. I've got to go into settings. This up to 85 and 85. Okay. The tentacles flail wildly in the water. People drop to their knees, some through fear, others with adulation. Their god is manifest. You watch from your position of privilege on a private balcony. You notice your two bodyguards are distracted and enraptured. Strike them down, flee this accursed place. Instinctively grabbing something, you smash it down on the head of the first guard. Shocked. Surprise registers on the second before he too is down. You are unsure whether they are dead or unconscious. You feel a drip from your fingers. You look down at your improvised weapon, a small idol of father. It is cracked and has cut your hand. You are drifting, but something inside snaps you back to reality. You have to move fast. The cells offer the safest route to freedom. You stride into the prison with feigned authority, no matter the place is unguarded. In our their moment of triumph. Escaping alone would be futile, so grab the keys from the guard room and approach the prisoners. Who will you unlock first? Alright, let's just see here. So we have Navigator grants bonus to performing ship maneuvers. Gunner is an expert at reloading weapons. The Marine is a trained melee fighter useful for boarding actions. The surgeon can heal crew outside of the sick bay. The sailor repairs the ship at a faster rate. So, I will grab the sailor. Whom will you release next? I need a navigator. The noise must have raised suspicion by now. Hurry and bestow freedom on one more prisoner. Let's grab the gunner. You and your new crew, companions, search through the labyrinthine passages. Finally, a door. Light seeps in through cracks in the frame. We burst through. You close your eyes for a moment as the sea breeze brushes your face. Looking down the winding path ahead, you see what you had hoped for, a ship at anchor. It was likely stolen and repurposed by the cult. Time to put it to better use. Alright. Everybody on board. Alright, cut the ropes. So, you... cut. There we go. And you cut these ones. Alright, so far we're not doing too horribly. Alright, man the ship's wheel. Now, sailor, navigator. Send the navigator up to the wheel. Alright, we are doing okay. Dozens of furious cultists charge the jetty as you pull away, a high priest at their head. His scream reaches your ears and drips with scorn. Heed me, betrayer. Our Father knows and sees you always. You will never escape his embrace. As he speaks, the other cultists disperse, no doubt to begin their pursuit on their own vessels. Are my headphones even plugged in? Yeah, I'm in the right port. Okay. They'll be sending ships after us. Let's get out of here. The coastal fortifications open fire on the ship as it leaves the jetty. There we go. That's a little bit of volume. The coastal fortifications open fire on the ship as it leaves the jetty. Mortar shells incoming. Crew member to 0 health. When this happens, they become incapacitated, gain a negative physical trait. You have a short time to stabilize them. Continue. Alright. Start repairing the ship. It's not over yet. Take cover. We've been hit by weapons that causes hull cracks. These splinter the deck, make the ship take on water. There is a water gauge above the hull. Listen out for the ship's bell. This will warn you when your water gauges reach critical levels. The bell will also sound when your hull health is dangerously low. Act decisively. Pump out the water, mates. We're nearly out of range. One more barrage incoming. We've been struck by our weapon with flaming ammunition and a fire has broken out. Fires damage sections and injure crew. They will spread unless your crew extinguishes them. I just need one of you to come over here. Alright, navigator. We're out of range, but stay alert, men. Alright. Flee through the gate. Obviously not that gate. I know some people out there are going to be like, stop exploring the map and just get to safety. Well, I am a completionist. And as such, I uncover the map because you never know when you're gonna find, say, a merchant vessel or something that can come in handy. Because sometimes you can actually find stuff to trade with, or you can find docks. I have played this game before. I just haven't gotten very far in it. Because this game gets ridiculously tough. And it probably wouldn't be so tough if I'd just, keep running and stop being a map. Hey! See? I just found boat repair and food. So we're not doing too bad. Yeah, this first section is kind of lax during the tutorial. They don't really want to throw anything too crazy at you. But trust me, this game can be nuts. I've streamed it before, and I will continue to play this game because I love it. It's great. It's the fact that it's so tough that makes it so enticing to me. You can see the whole map. Are you kidding me? You're gonna Make me go through this before. This is a map of the immediate area. The surrounding frame marks the limits of your exploration. Beyond them lies tumultuous seas, far too dangerous for a captain to travel or to return from. Reach new areas by navigating through well-mapped safe passages known as gates. You must now escape through the gate, currently highlighted at the bottom of the screen. For now, the others cannot be opened. The gate is locked. Locked gates can be opened by completing a set number of events. There is an event marker at the gate. Left click on it to sail into it. A patrolling cult ship has stumbled upon us. Man the guns. We owe them no mercy. Remember the lessons you have learned so far. Weapon reloading. You can set a weapon to auto-fire by right-clicking on the weapon button. You can also, once you dismiss this message, you can issue orders while the game is paused. Make use of this if things are spiraling out of control. I shall. Alright. Each crew has a specialty. A crewman assigned... Okay. So. Let's see here. Captain? Why can I not unpause? Enemy section. If you hover over the cursor over the enemy... Okay. There's our ship. There's their ship. Active pause. You can hover the mouse over any object. We want to get close to the enemy ship. The distance bar on the left. Move you there, and then move you there. Chain shot can only be... Let's ram the enemy. I like that. The enemy failed their brace test. The impact even caused one of their crew to be knocked overboard. They can man the winch at the back of the ship to save them. If they don't make it in time, they will drown. Your own winch is highlighted. If any of your crew are in the water, be sure to man the winch to rescue them. Now finish them off. Alright, that didn't turn out too bad. Let's see here. At the end of a battle, you are able to salvage anything of value. This tutorial combat. Alright. You don't need to worry about repairing your sections or healing your crew. That happens automatically when you go back to the exploration map. As long as you have water pumps, going back to exploration mode will automatically empty the water gauge too. Nice. So we can leave combat. Off to the next section. You announce to the crew that you need to take stock and are not to be disturbed. In the captain's cabin, you find some clean clothes, most likely belonging to the poor previous occupant before the cult had their way with the ship. It feels good to be finally be out of your flowing ceremonial robes. You stow them neatly away, knowing they may yet have their use. I am Nodwik. You re-emerge onto the deck, and the crew snap to attention. attention. We may have escaped, he began, but we are not yet safe. We must make port, then go our separate ways. It's me thereafter. You return to your cabin and slump into a chair. Moments later, a strong undercurrent of exhaustion pulls you into a deep sleep. Still loved and always in his thoughts, you were the first, but he knew something within you had changed. Thus, you were marginalized, became a symbolic icon with no real power. You didn't care. Something in you was gaining strength. Little by little, the fog was clearing. A sharp knock on your door snaps you awake. Moments later, you stride back on deck to issue commands. The cult fortress is far from inhabited lands. We'll need to navigate through open waters before we can find a port. Click the highlighted button to see your ship. Blook. This is the lone ship view. It allows you to change your default settings that will be used in combat. Alright, so you are here. You are here. And you are here. There. We'll start here. Save crew positions. If you ever need to return to your crew to their saved locations, you can press the highlight button. Nice. The highlighted button can be used to bring the ship about. In battle, this can only be performed if your maneuver bar is fully charged. And we now get to return to the map. There is a lighthouse in the distance. Press the highlighted button to see where it is located. Alright. Lighthouses have their surrounding fog of war removed, so are visible upon the map entry, containing detailed charts of the local area, as well as providing a high vantage point. Sailing into the event marker next to a lighthouse will remove all remaining fog of war on the map. Handy. You must continue trying to escape the cult by fleeing from this exploration map. Locate the exit gate and complete the required number of events. If you sail to the lighthouse first, that will help you explore the area. I will gladly go to the lighthouse. Alright, so we have a ship, something called the Teeth. That'll repair us. That'll give us food. And it's this gate that we need to go through. Alright. A cult vessel was spotted in the distance. You have been watching it for signs of intent. You lower the spyglass and wipe it. Before peering again into the sea haze, your presence is gone unnoticed. You dread to think what would happen if the cult vessel chose to flee. You let go a sigh of relief as it wheels around to meet you. Your destiny is in your hands, at least. Battle stations. I'll take it. Start to move a little closer. Um, why are we moving further away? Maneuver closer. Are we still at range? Yeah. Enemy ramming. And they're out of range again. Since we're out of... You can start working on those. Sweet. I'll take that. And we can now leave combat. Alright, what else was on the map? So there's... boat to salvage here. And food to salvage here. The cult ship has been doggedly pursuing you for a while now. It's small but light, and it's slowly gaining. Through the spyglass, you see a familiar face manning the helm, and your heart sinks. Samuel's parents were some of your first initiates, and when they perished, you ensured the orphan was well looked after. Even after all these years, you imagine he still looks up to you. You remember proudly watching as he was given command of his first ship. It didn't matter that it was a raggedy, workmanlike vessel. The same ship pursues you now, although he has clearly upgraded it in the meantime. What does he seek? Knowing Samuel, he probably has questions. You slow the ship, allowing him to move closer. Samuel, no thanks to you, was always devout. So you're not sure what you can say that will sway him to your cause. But there is a bond there, one you might yet use to save him. You watch as his ship closes, his expression unreadable. Once within hailing range, he doesn't slow. It is then you realize your sentimentality has cost you. Samuel only has retribution in his heart. Probably thinks he's redeeming your soul. You resign yourself to battle. Aww. Alright. Stay close. Stay in this range. Alright. We will destroy him. We're okay for now. Oh, buddy. I didn't think that would go that easy. He went down like a flounder. You could see the look of betrayal in Samuel's eyes. He would not surrender nor give up until you had paid for your transgression. As he fell, the look on his face said it all. Why? You can't even remember having family and friendships. We're not encouraged in the cults. But Samuel was dear to you. You can't stay here. And as you tell the crew to forget about the salvage, you struggle to keep your voice level. Sweet. And that should leave one boat before something that I don't remember. The tension on the ship is palpable, as two cult ships have been spotted in a hunting pattern. They are some distance apart, but are already converging on your position. What will you do? Our only hope is to deliver a knockout blow to the first ship before dealing with the second. Make for the gap between them both and put your backs into it for dear life. We're going for it, folks. Oh yeah. Now this is interesting. An interesting scenario. We've taken damage already. Interesting indeed. You back here. You back here. They're almost gone. And done. Bye-bye. We're already at battle stations. Take aim and let's make it brace. There's no time to gather your plunder, for the second ship is upon you. Will you stand and declare for double the riches, or flee, because your life will turn and face them? I mean, I know I could be just, getting greedy, but we'll see how this fares. Alright, so far we're okay. And then we back away and just continue to pelt. We got this. They're as good as fish in the water. That's a saying, right? I think. And they're done. You done, son? We'll be singing songs of this day for a while, lads, and there is more than enough salvage booty, yes, including grog, to go around. You drop to your knees. It feels like a lightning storm inside your skull, and you sense a massive, ancient intelligence emerging from it. Scanning the horizon, you see an unnatural disturbance in the water, and it's approaching fast. You can't avert your eyes as the royal closes distance. Whatever it is will be upon you in mere moments. Alright. You're now prepared to best such beast. Fight it off and flee. When your maneuver bar is full, press the flee button to initiate your departure. Desperate retreat it is. Alright, boys. Unfortunately, the flee bar is not full. Ah, dang. Don't have to tell me twice. Consider me gone. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Fill, 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 fill. Why did you stop manning the wheel? You wounded the creature and escaped somehow. You feel in your bones that the Kraken will need time to recuperate before it resumes the hunt. You should not dally. The teeth. Your early days as a cultist come to mind. Days spent testing the shape and strength of your newfound devotion. Racked by existential doubt, you threw yourself from the pinnacle, like so many acolytes after you, into the rocky waters below. You emerged reborn, ignorant of the legend your rite of passage would become. Coming back to your senses, you notice a body bobbing in the water. Only the most fanatical or sadistic would still force neophytes under their tutelage to prove their love for Father in this way. Do you wish to investigate? Yes. The body is clinging to a rock, anger flaring in its eyes. You miss the start of his shouted rant directed at you. It appears he has assumed you are part of the cult. You listen intently to his diatribe, assessing his allegiance. He signed up with his friends. Their leader and his cronies brought them here to test their loyalty. The first of his friends jumped willingly, dying to the sounds of cultist laughter. He realized his mistake. The rest, hesitant and afraid, were pushed. He was the only survivor. You've heard enough. You inform him that you flee the cult, having shed their blood to escape. You promise him that he'll have his own chance for revenge if he swears to serve as part of your crew. He willingly agrees, and you haul him aboard. His desire for vengeance will serve you well. And now we can escape through the gate. So the Kraken will be a continual thing. Now the danger is past, the crew bombard you with questions. You feel responsible and share what little you know. That creature, the cult worship it. It's part of what they call the Great Project. You refocus your efforts on reaching port as quickly as humanly possible, for their sake and yours. The dull ache in your head recedes slightly, and you realize you can't remember at a time without it. You feel more like yourself again and wonder what it will take to banish the ache entirely. The charts you found in the captain's cabin show a nearby port, land, safe from that infernal monster. The arrowhead around your ship is a compass that will point to the nearest hidden point of interest. The compass will not point towards things that have been uncovered from the fog of war. If you follow the arrowhead now, it will take you to the nearest port. But I'm going to... actually, let's see here. So is there... No, there is not a lighthouse. We could not be that lucky. So map exploration it is. And we have 2 potential gates. So that requires 4 things. This requires... Oh, that one's just locked. Alright. So now I continue with my little bit of uncovering the map. Because you never know when there's going to be useful stuff. Whether it be repairs, upgrades, food. Hey look, port. And it's not the wine. I think port's a wine. No. Or is port something else? I can't remember. I'm not a big drinker. Hey, a little port. Once the ship is docked, the crew are seemingly reluctant to part ways. After all, they would all still be prisoners of the cultists, or worse, without you. You suggest a farewell drink in the nearest tavern. The first round is solemn, each unable to stop dwelling on their own morbid thoughts. The drinks flow and the tension eases as another empty tankard is banged on the table. The crew make life pledges to you. You manage to secure a cheap room with plenty of beds upstairs. Once you've slept it off, you can all part ways. Your head aches more than it should, and unease creeps through your body. Heavy mead is a different story to ceremonial wine. Shanties and ballads are butchered. Feet and occasionally bodies shake the tabletops. Just your typical evening in a dockside grog hole. A game of blades inevitably ends with drawn blood. Money changes hands, but one hand refuses to let go, and so the burly innkeep helps him, fast and airborne out the door. It's getting late. Or early. Either way, let's sleep it off. Tentacles grasping from every angle. No escape. They predict your every movement, attracted unerringly to you like a compass to polar north. Wrapping slowly around you, they pull you inexorably down. Down, down. Deeper and deeper. You jolt awake, clammy, head pounding. The rum, surely. Yet it feels more familiar than that, more insidious. Something within you cries out, and then so do you. An inchoate scream. Your crew stir from their beds just as the door flies off its hinges, two shadowed forms crossing the threshold. Luckily, none of your crew were hurt. The pain in your head subsides. The two corpses are Halifron, a nightmarish conjoining of a man and sea creature. Superstitious folk tales made real. You've seen them before, but the crew clearly never imagined they would. Downstairs, the innkeeper is dead. The first hint of dawn looms upon the horizon. Slip warily through the streets back to the ship. In your cabin, angry discussion rages about the Halifron, while you sit in silent in contemplation. You know it in your heart of hearts that hiding is pointless. Land offers no haven. The cult will not rest until they have you, and all free men under their yoke. This is a problem only solved by shot, steel, and willing hearts. Your best and only chance is to strike a crippling blow to the cult, to kill the Kraken. The crew stop and listen intently when you speak up. You explain that the Halifron have always been out there, unseen and preying on those who stray too close to the water alone at night. You tell them of your headaches and how you feel there is some connection between those creatures, the Kraken, and yourself. You plan to go on the offensive. To cut the head off the sea snake is met with a mixture of admiration and amusement. They are not the heroes of old, hunting mythological sea monsters. You cannot force them to join you on what may be a suicide mission, and despite their regret, they leave. It is just you now. You have little time to prepare for your mission. Your first step is to visit the shipwright before recruiting some more crew. Perhaps coin will buy greater loyalty. The shops are where you can purchase new weapons and upgrades, obtain supplies, repair your ship, or purchase a new one. Your golden supplies are found here. You can repair your hull by clicking one of these buttons. Your hull can only be repaired in port. On this occasion, we have repaired your hull for free. To buy weapons and upgrades, you drag them onto your ship. Boop. You can sell weapons and upgrades by dragging the slot on your ship to the sell box. You will get a reduced amount for selling things. Let's increase the number of cannons in one of our batteries. More cannons equals more damage. Click the plus symbol. If you want a reminder of the weapons on your ship, hover your mouse over an occupied slot, and a tooltip will explain what it is. Now click on the highlighted tab on Check Out the upgrades and supplies. Upgrades improve your ship. You can buy and sell upgrades in a similar way to weapons by dragging them onto the correct slot. You can buy and sell supplies in the highlighted box. Clicking the minus button means you will sell supplies and receive the displayed amount of gold. Similarly, clicking the plus button will buy supplies at the displayed gold cost. Section upgrades. You can improve the sections on your ship by dragging your chosen upgrade onto the corresponding slot on the section. I really cannot talk tonight. You can upgrade the section's armor, resistance to hull cracks, and fires, repair, speed, or performance. Performance improvements can be different per section. The helm will charge your maneuver bar at an increased rate. A higher mast's level will make your ship move faster when changing distance. An upgraded sick bay is quicker at healing crew. You can browse new ships to purchase by selecting the Shipwreck tab. When you have finished in the shops, press this button to leave and return to the main port. Let's see here. What do I even currently have for a boat? I don't even know what I have. This ship cannot hold as many weapons as your current ship. Any weapons that cannot be moved across will be sold. Okay, so I currently have a brig. So I don't want to go down to a cutter. Yeah, it looks like I have a brig. Either that or I have a frigate. Oh, if only I could afford the man o' war. That would be so nice. Anyway, I'm keeping my boat. Let's see here. Hull armor, diving bell. Oh, interesting. Lifeboat. Hull spikes. So I have 55. What can I do with 55? Probably nothing. Return to port. You make your way back to dockside taverns and notice a few cultists in the midday bustle. It's easy for you to slip by unnoticed. It's harder, however, to resist slipping your dagger into one of them. Approaching the tavern door, a hand grabs your shoulder. You pivot, prim to fight, only to be faced with your former crew. Captain, these cultists seem to have tarred us with your brush. We might all be safer together now. Plus, be a shame if we were left out of the songs about you. They hand you a small, heavy pouch to put towards hiring an extra hand. You agree to meet back at the ship once you've checked for any potential recruits in the tavern. You can dismiss your current crew and hire new crew in the tavern. The bottom row displays your crew. The top row displays the available crew. You hire a crew by dragging their card. Alright. And I can... let's see here. So, we already have a navigator. We already have a gunner. And we have 2 sailors. Let's grab a marine. Why not? And now we can't afford anybody. Magistrate, Explorers Guild, Apothecary, Prison. Return to port. We leave towards the docks, which are swarming with a growing crowd. Dozens of ships flying the cultist insignia are approaching. The curiosity and tension is palpable. Time to leave. Several ships seem to have had a similar idea, attempting to escape the incoming cult vessels. Some slow down and surrender, others speed past the blockade, while some engage in bloody battle. The cultist ship bearing down fast doesn't leave you with much choice. Shot and steel, lads. Shot and steel. Alright, you... will man the new mortar. Alright. We're probably out of range. Yep. Need to get a little closer. Halifron are aquatic monsters that appear on cult vessels. They can dive into the water, swim at great speed, and board you. They are fearsome melee fighters. Be especially wary of Halifron with red skin. Because memory serves, those are the guys that blow up. Okay, you run away. Kill the Halifron. Okay, you back to your gun. I said back to your gun. You off to sickbay. You man the helm. You off to sickbay. Alright. You back to your gun. The fleeing vessels dealt with. 3 more cult ships tack towards you. You rapidly raise the sails. And the bar highlighted at the bottom of the screen represents how close the cult are to tracking you down. And this is why my map exploration is so dangerous. Only because the closer that gets. Ooh, money. Let's go. Damaged ship. I'll take you out. Closer. Leave combat. Alright. You recognize the distant ship being hounded by a pursuing cult vessel. It was one of the lucky ones that successfully managed to flee the port when it came under attack. Its luck appears to be running out now, though. The shots from the cult ship are inching closer with each passing moment. You weigh the options. The cult vessel immediately switches attention to you. Whatever else happens, you've bought the fleeing ship time. Let's do this. You there. You there. Nope. Put out the fire. Back to your guns. Over to sickbay. Definitely over to sickbay. Aw, yeah. That's how it's done, baby. That is how it's done. Boom. Yeah. Alright. Let's leave combat. And we've almost covered the whole map. Actually, I think we may have uncovered the whole map. Alright. So, this port was taken over. There's a ship docked here. Ship. Oop, don't want to do that. Alright, up we go. Through the forest. And something. A cult vessel is beached on an island. The cultists will be raiding nearby villages and farmsteads. A second cult ship lies in the waters by it, and immediately moves to intercept you to protect its prone companion. If we take out the first ship quickly, we can bombard the beached vessel while it is vulnerable. Let's do this. We've got this. Aw, yeah. Alright. Start to move in. So nice having found the Marine. With the first battle won, you immediately turn your attention to the second vessel. Vessel. I can't speak English. Vessel. Alright. Let's do this. Oh, we're doing this. A small cult supply vessel is strayed into your path. The target is too tempting to resist, as it will be laden with ill-gotten gains for you to plunder. Taking the ship intact will reap much greater rewards. You man this. You man this. We need to get closer. Oh crap. Okay, I need to get close enough to board. Sweet. The hold was packed with supplies. They'll put them to much better use than whatever the cult had planned for them. Sweet. Your spyglass is trained on a reprehensible sight. A cult slave ship. It's traveling slowly, no doubt weighed down by its human cargo. You instruct the crew on the plan. Take the ship intact. Sinking it will drown all the slaves locked up in the hold. Alright, so this is a strict Oh, shoot. I didn't want to do that. Crap. Anguished cries for help were silenced as the ship sank into the depths. You try to convince yourself that death was better than being a slave of the cult, but after that sight it is a difficult argument, and one that leaves a mental scar. Whoopsie! I meant to save them. Yeah, so what's going to happen now is the more cult ships I take out, the more time I give myself. It seems the cult has thrown caution to the wind since your departure, and the appearance of the Kraken Halipron on land. Blocking a port, their audacity galls you. You give up any hope of quiet escape. Lying awake for hours, you rack your brains over how you can fight a deep-sea creature you cannot reach. Fitful sleep finally claims you. An ancient, unfathomable consciousness bears down on you with terrible weight. Tentacles rise again, snatching at you, but now you can hold them off. You sense frustration and a curiosity from the consciousness at your newfound strength. A huge, gaping maw emerges from the blackness, ready to envelop you. A beacon appears in the hot, encroaching darkness, before sinking beneath you and exploding in absolute illumination. The maw shrinks back with a roar. Ooh, an event. You sit bolt upright in your bunk, taut with realization. If you can somehow hit the Kraken underwater, it may emerge and become vulnerable. But how? An indistinct memory forms, emerging as if from a thick fog. Yes, now you remember the isle where answers live. You call the crew to attention. We make for the Isle of Landfall. If the artificers in the Great Library don't know how to help us, no one will. You pause, letting this new information sink in. Without updated charts, we won't know the safest sea routes there, so we must first find an explorer's guild in a nearby port. Oh, sweet. Lighthouse. What's with the green dots? I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I don't trust it. Do not trust it at all. But what I do trust is lighthouses. Ooh. Okay. So Dead Man's Spire. So this little counter down here shows everything that... Ooh. Shows how quickly it'll take for the Kraken to get back to you. Once it fills, it's Kraken time. Oh, that's a merchant path. Okay. People go about their business unaware that their neighbor port was captured by the cult. You make your way to the Explorers Guild so you can gain information on the safe routes to landfall. On the way, you pass several of the other places of interest in the port. If you ever find yourself on the wrong side of the law, you can pay off fines in the magistrate. Visit the Apothecary. Time to visit the Apothecary. Throughout your adventures, your crew may require the services of an apothecary. When your crew are incapacitated in combat, they will pick up a negative physical trait. These provide a modifier to how that crew member performs. An apothecary can heal these ailments. In some events, your crew can become badly hurt. When this happens, they are unavailable to use in combat. You can revive them here. Sometimes things will not go your way, and you may find yourself alone and low on money and in desperate need of a crew to help claw your way back to the top. In these instances, a prison is a way to replenish your crew at a very low cost. By paying their fine, you can have these criminals serve on your ship. They do, however, have negative mental traits that hamper their effectiveness. Each criminal is unable to gain experience, so they will always stay at the basic level. Hover the mouse over one of the negative traits to see an explanation. Stubborn convict does not gain experience. Now it is time to visit the Explorers Guild. Oh, sweet. You can file your own charts mapping out the local area in the Explorers Guild. They will pay you a small reward for this updated information. You can do this by uncovering the fog of war in the map where the port is located. Click on the highlighted button to file your charts. Abandoned ship autosaves your game continually. It will also save your game when you quit via the pause menu, when the option reads Save and Exit. Death is permanent. When you die, your autosave will be deleted. However, if you obtain a captain's log, this will allow you to create a captain's log save. Dying with a captain's log save means you will be able to load back to that last captain's log save and resume your adventure from there. We've just given you a captain's log. Use it now. Captain's logs can be found in special golden shipwrecks, accessible via diving bell. You may occasionally find them via other means too. Be warned, captain logs are rare and finite. You must choose when to use them carefully, otherwise you risk losing a lot of progress. When you have finished, leave the port by clicking on the highlighted button. No, we don't have a bounty. What are you? Feels the cold. Apothecary. Remove. Oh, those are mental traits. So how do I get that removed? Return to port. On your way out, you speak with one of the officials, asking for information on the safest paths to reach landfall. It's as well you asked, he said. Here, these routes should allow you to avoid some of the hazards of the open sea. Your personal chart's now updated with the necessary details. You head back to the ship.